I'm in Salad and I saw An American Werewolf in London. It is directed by John Landis, and this was a Patreon request. If you'd like to request a movie, go to patreon.com/ASVpresents to fast track that movie request. Anyway, I had no idea what this movie was, just like a lot of movies that I watch. I didn't know it existed until it was recommended to me. And I was like, wow, that's a really long title, but I'm actually really curious to see what movie's about. But I do know it's about werewolves. So the movie starts, we follow these two Americans, and they're in London. And so I'm like, one of them's going to turn into a werewolf. That's what I'm thinking pretty much immediately off the bat. So, you got two travelers. They have a really good dynamic, by the way. You just see them talking at night, going to this pub. They go into the pub. The people there are not really welcome to Americans. I mean, they are, but they aren't. And of course, everyone's having a handle-grandy time, but then one of the Americans, is like, what's that pentagram on that wall? And they get super angry and then force him out. Because there's a wolf howling, and they know that there's a wolf howling, they're like, we don't want to let him go. Some of them are like, just go, just leave. But like, especially this old woman, she's like, I feel like it's my responsibility not to send him out there. And I think it kind of is, if you know that there are werewolves outside, and you got a man, especially two foreigners who don't know this area very well, and it's a full moon, and it's night. Maybe you should try a little harder to keep them indoors, but I digress. They really just wanted to leave because they're being a little intimidated by the folk there, by the pub people. They're told, don't go into the moors, and don't stray off the path. And guess what happens? They stray off the path and go into the moors. It seems to be a cool little area where there's no path, but it's clear, but it's not super clear, and you got a whole wolf just circling them. I'm like, oh boy, y'all are screwed. Y'all should have not strayed off the path, but I digress. One of them gets attacked, and the other one also gets attacked, but doesn't die. But unfortunately, his friend does die. So now we have American Werewolf in London. Oh wow, that's the name of the movie. Wow, I can't believe it. But what I can believe is that he wakes up 3 weeks later. He could have been in a coma. How did he not die? How did no one give up on him? I don't know anything about healthcare in London, so I don't know if they got free healthcare for him for 3 weeks, but he's an American. He's not native. But I digress. He stays there for 3 weeks, wakes up, his friend is undead. He's essentially just a mauled corpse. He's alive, but he's like mauled, and he's like, dude, come on. You're alpha werewolf now. You remember the other werewolf? Yeah, he's gone. He's long gone. Now you're alpha werewolf, and I'm here as long as you're here. So please, go
unalive
yourself. Just do that, please. American Werewolf is like, nah, man, I don't need to. He just wants to live. He doesn't really believe it, but he's also kind of questioning, oh, maybe I might turn into a monster because of these weird, wacky dreams that he gets that's telling him that he's about to turn into a monster, and also his undead friend is telling him that he's about to become a werewolf in a couple of days. So what does he do? Just the rational thing of hooking up with your nurse after a couple of days of her taking care of you. She's like, ooh, yeah, I like you, guy. And, you know, they go to her flat and they have sex. That seems to be very American. So he escapes the flat after having sex with her. And it's the day of his transformation. He's gonna transform. Ooh. He's waiting for her in the flat even later in the day. And guess what happens? He starts to transform. This transformation is really cool, by the way, because it shows the entire transformation. It does not stray from the special effects at all. And since it was the 80s, practical effects, pretty good. I was actually really impressed by it. I was like, wow, that must be really painful, because it just really wants to have you sit in the moment while you're watching him turn into a werewolf. And speaking of sitting in the moment, the movie is very much a moment piece. It's really following the American werewolf and his journey in being a werewolf in London. And the day-to-day, like, just waiting for anticipation for him to finally transform and get these really painful, it looks really painful, his bones just extend and he just starts morphing like an animorph, but this is a werewolf, which is older than animorphs, and I'm just like, wow, this is awesome. I wish more movies had special effects like this. This is awesome. And he finds himself to be a werewolf, and he's wolfing about on the streets of London, and all the chaos is just happening, mainly because, first of all, this is his first night of becoming a werewolf, alright? He's just luckily not near like a ton of people, but it's still unfortunate that he just starts mauling people, not even finishing eating them. He just goes on to the next person. And I'm like, dude, just finish your meal first. One person has to suffice. Please, if you're going to murder, death, kills people as a werewolf, please limit the amount of murder, death, kill. But this is the first time he's transformed, so I completely understand him just losing control. But murder is bad, and the society around him really thinks so. And then, you know what happens after this long night of murder, death, kill? He wakes up in a zoo. This is wacky. Just so suspicious of anyone who didn't see a man just laying naked in a zoo, surrounded by wolves. Like, no one saw that? Like, there's a couple of people while he's running naked, and he runs by this, like, elderly woman, who doesn't even look down, good courtesy, by the way, and he's just running about stealing clothes. He has to come back to the flat of his lovely nurse, GF, whom he loves. He says he loves her, and it takes her a while to say that she loves her back, so I'm like, yeah, this is a budding romance, and I want to see what happens. And so we got, oh yes, the American werewolf trying to tell a London woman how he's a werewolf, just telling her all the things, and she doesn't believe him at first, but there's just like sign after sign after sign after sign how he's a werewolf. It appears in the news. He's talking about how he's experienced, how he woke up in the zoo. That should be a really red flag. Like, how do you ignore the signs for this long? But anyway, now it is time for the second night, where he becomes a werewolf. And I hope I don't become a werewolf, because I got scratched. I might be okay, but I'm not sure. Next full moon we'll find out. And so he becomes a werewolf, and he just starts running into the streets of London. And I love this scene where he's just creating mass chaos. He's mauling bodies. You got a bunch of accidents happen. There's so many cuts of just cars going bumper to bumper. There's murder, death, kill everywhere. Everyone's dying. All the chaos. And I'm like, I love this chaotic moment. Where chaos is, you got the cops trying to kill this wolf. And I hope they have silver bullets, because you got a really rabid dog, a rabid mad dog, as commoners are to believe, but I know it is an American werewolf who doesn't understand the London werewolf etiquette. So he's causing mass mayhem, you know? It's quite a sight. But anyway, oh yeah, nurse, I'm gonna talk to my good old pal, American werewolf, please. Let me talk to you. It's about a second. He's like, alright. I'm gonna cease my wolfing for a minute, and then kind of jump out at you. And then, bam! Cops shoot him and then he's dead. And at this moment, I'm like, okay, so he's gonna come back, because they weren't silver bullets. But no, the credits roll, and I'm just like, wow. That was a story. That was pretty great. I really felt just the full dead stop of just watching him just dead. His story is done. Just like the story of the movie is done. And so I really enjoyed the dialogue between all the characters. Every character is just their own person. And I really enjoyed that. Plus, the long shots of just seeing every character unbroken, by the way. It's pretty great. Also, I really gotta mention again the wolf transformation scene because it is so awesome. It deserves a second mention. It's so awesome. I absolutely love it. I really recommend it, like, even just watching it by itself. Just watch it. It's so cool. And for that awesome wolf transformation scene, I gotta give this movie a solid 8.1 out of 10. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The goal of this channel is for me to become an expert film watcher. So, if I haven't seen it, there's a chance I haven't even reviewed it. I'm gonna have to read. And so, if so, test. And if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it. So request a movie for me to watch in the comments below. Or you can fast track that request at patreon.com/ASCpresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month. So go check out patreon.com/ASCpresents. Also, $3 daily vlogs. They're a real hoot, only on patreon.com/ASCpresents. And if you want to help support the daily grind of these movie reviews and to see my NSFW content, go to this link tree right here. You'll really enjoy the content, and it keeps all the movie reviews coming. It keeps them doing. So yeah, go to this link tree right here. And until next time I'm in Salad Saw, I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.